A good one there for Super Falcons of Nigeria for doing us so proud, winning 4-0 against Burundi. Welcome you on the show, 360 Sport on Trust TV. I am Adeni Ajishafe. We just have to appreciate the fact that our ladies came to the party and they really did well, beating them 1, 2, 3, 4 goals. Rashida Ajibade, outstanding player. I have to give it up to Osinachi Ohale. All of them, they did well in that game, making us so proud as they came back, at least after losing to South Africa, they came back to the party. They won 2-0 against Botswana, now 4-0 against Burundi, coming second in that group. Just to let you have a feel of what happened between Burundi and Nigeria. Joining to talk sport this hour is Josie James. Good to have you, Josie.
Good morning.
Good one. Now, let's look at our ladies, what they did just yesterday. Well, a lot of people expected us to win, but maybe because of the performance against South Africa, we're not expecting 4-0 or thereabout, but now they did well.
When it comes to the female football in Africa, we're #1, and everybody expects us to win every now and then. It's good that we are having rivals who can compete now, unlike when the Nations Cup for the females started years ago. We've been winning every now and then, and it became boring. Nobody could match us. But now South Africans can match us every now and then. For the last 3 times we played against South Africa, it's either they win or it's a draw. It's good. It's not like, okay, you're not patriotic enough. I am. I like the competition they are giving us. And I hope the Super Falcons gets to the final to play South Africa.
Now, looking at the fact that that game, we needed it because we needed to at least make the second. South Africa won their own 1-0. Now, a lot of people were like, Super Falcons, this tournament, expectations were high. That first game brought a lot of unnecessary unhappiness. A lot of people are not happy for the fact that we lost against South Africa. Why? For the 3 times consecutively, we've lost against them now. Although we've met 13 times, or 14 thereabout, we've won 7. So that really we've been more a kind of dominant than South Africa. But lately, South Africa has really closed the edge against our national female team, and that really caused a lot of concerns. But for this game and the second game they played, they came back and they were able to at least, it's like each match that they are playing, they're getting better.
Yes, there are new players in the female team right now, the Super Falcons, so they are getting to know how we play. It's not like everybody in this new team, they were part of those who won the last AFCON for the women. So there are new players in the team. I think we started having some foreigners who were born outside Nigeria, but they have Nigerian parents, so they decide to switch allegiance to play for Nigeria. Some of these guys, they don't know how to play the African football. And the South African team has been together for like 6 years or so. They have been building this team. If there's going to be an upset,
it's going to be from South Africa.
Yes, in the final.
That all happens for other countries like Burundi, Botswana, that they've not been able to, because even South Africa against Botswana ended 1-0. Although they are neighbors, they know themselves. But it seems South Africa has been the one that have really been able to understudy us, got most of our styles, and now they are even forcing us to play their own style. Because if you look at lately, all the matches we've played, South Africa actually forced us to play the way they want, that actually suit them, because they know they are younger and they are very agile than us. Most of our players are old, they couldn't run, and that has been working for them until we begin to inject new blood, especially from our own league, Nigeria-based players, into this system, because of the fact that they are looking for more career fame, they're looking for more money, they want to be signed abroad, and also they want to be known, just like the established players are known, the so-called senior players. If you begin to infuse those new ones, little by little, who are still very young, I'm sure Super Falcons will go places.
From the both teams, what I see is that the South African team has never won the Nations Cup. They are vying to win it for the first time. So there is this, who wants it more? who has the passion, who has the zeal, who is fighting more every game to see how they get to the final and win. They want it more. It's obvious. It's not like we don't want it, but we have like 9 officially, and we are going for the 10th one. You can't compare a team that has never won the Nations Cup to a team that has it 9 times. There's always that pride, like, we'll get there, we'll do it, no matter what. Yes, there's an edge of experience. It will always tell against the South Africans. All we need to do now, from now till the finals, is just to win. When we get to the final, we know how to cross it.
Okay, good one there. We're looking at the Super Falcons performance. Quickly, let's look at the result, the tables that has to do with the competition on Sunday and on Saturday, starting from Group C. Let's start with our own. Looking at the result there, yes, we defeated them 4-0 there, Nigeria, Burundi. South Africa won, Botswana 0. And if you look at the way the table is standing, that same group, Group C, you have South Africa. They've actually gone out with 9 points. South Africa with 9 points, Nigeria with 6 points after having goal difference of 5, Botswana 3, and you have Burundi no point at all. Well, Botswana, they are lucky, they actually scaled through. Now, still looking at the results in the WAFCON rather, in Group B now. Let's look at the result in Group B as actually happened during on Saturday, where they play Cameroon against Tunisia. It was 2-0 in favor of the indomitable Lionesses. You have Zambia 4, Togo 1. And now, looking at the table as it stands in that Group B, you have in Group B now, well, Tunisia, Cameroon, they were able to do the right thing, but at least qualify, and also Zambia. So Tunisia, Cameroon, Zambia, they scaled through, they were able to make it. And now, if you look at it, Nigeria, Tunisia, all of them are ready now, battle ready now. They want to at least make sure they continue. But Nigeria will be playing against Cameroon in our next match. Yeah. That's where the whole thing lies now. Nigeria, Cameroon. A lot of people are looking at what's going to happen concerning that.
No, when you look at the Nigerian-Cameroon game, it's not like in the female side of the football. This is different totally. We have dominance. We have dominance over mostly West African teams. And going forward from this point, we're playing for 2 things. 1, we want to win the Nations Cup. We want to qualify for the World Cup. As a matter of fact, the World Cup is much more important right now for the players, for the federation. If we get to the finals and somehow we don't win the trophy, but we qualify for the World Cup, it's better for the federation.
Good one there. Let me hold you down there with Josie. James, let's join Anytime Obadino, who'll be telling us more concerning how you feel about this. Yes, we've won. We've qualified for the quarterfinals. Anytime if you are there, Nigeria and Cameroon. That will be a battle of the Titans. How do you feel? How will you take this particular clash?
It's a tough clash. Excuse me. It's a tough clash for Nigeria because we're basically rolling back the years. This Cameroon used to be our major rivals after Ghana struggled to get back on the scene or to stay longer on the scene, and now we are having them back. They are still formidable. They are still strong. We know when they had the days when they had Ghana more, but now it's Ajara Chu that is driving them forward. But hey, they are not as strong as before, and Nigeria too. We are still struggling to get our hearts right. If you ask me honestly about our performances so far, a little bit of disjointed performances, wasting chances and all that can count against a top team like Cameroon. So it's a tough game that will require the coach making the right decision. We have the players, we have the squad, and we have the talent. It comes down to the technical input, the technical area, and how we organize. So going up against a sturdy Cameroonian team that can match us strength for strength, pace for pace, and skill for skill. They have a lot of talented players outside of their shore. So it's really a tough ask for the Super Falcons.
Okay, now, despite the fact that they can match us well in every area, whatever area we actually want to use to measure the performance between Super Falcons and the indomitable Lionesses, don't you think our girls are now kind of gear up ahead of this particular clash to see how they can overrun the Lionesses?
I said it yesterday that injury has been a better coach than our actual coach because Save for the injury to Rita Chikwelu, we probably wouldn't have gotten a chance to see Christy Uchebe or even Peace Effie yesterday. We saw the kind of energy and the urgency they brought to the midfield, and that's where we lost it against South Africa. We were a bit slow in transition. Ajibade was in the midfield as against playing in a more effective wing area where our pace and our good dribbling skills would have helped against the South Africans, especially the wing, because they were penetrating us through the wings, and the people playing the wing we are using a striker from who's not used to that for the wing. So it comes down to that difference. If you ask me, in terms of the personnel that the coach will put on the field of play, and once you get it right, once you have the strength of some of the people we've tested after that South African game, Uchiebe, the Benfica player, and of course Peace Effie, mixed with with our ability to pick a very thorough pass in the game. So once you have all those mixed up, and of course maybe try to find a balance between either featuring Kobe or any other person in that midfield. Once you win the midfield battle, then it's left for your strikers to finish properly. And from yesterday's game, I also observed McLean. She struggled to adapt to that run off the shoulder, between the central defenders for Burundi. So that might likely mean we need to work in terms of connection between players. A few of the players have shown good connection, but not all of them.
Good one there. Anytime Badino join us from Lagos. We've been looking at Super Falcons' chances against indomitable Lionesses. This seems to be very, very strong, but we know we can't rule over them. It is very possible now. Super Falcons, even though they didn't start so well, but now they're actually getting better each game they play, and now they did well against Burundi 4-0 just yesterday, now propelling them to qualify for quarterfinals. That will be coming up on Thursday against the Lionesses of Cameroon. That match will be a battle. In fact, the two teams are really ready to play this game. Ennington, while you are still there, let's talk with Josie James. Well, this competition so far, it seems Morocco, yes, they are the host nation. They are getting the support, although they are also playing well. They've qualified. If we can have the appearance of the 2022 WAFCON quarterfinal appearance there. Now, Nigeria, Cameroon. Yeah. And you look at, well, we know ourselves very, very well. In fact, just like Ennington mentioned, now is Ajara Unchut, who is now the star of that squad, but they drop in performance just like we dropped. Both of us seems to be at the same level. We are just trying to get our acts together, but in a very good day, if you have our day, anyone can win.
Yes, anyone can win. We still have some experienced players in the team that can work some magic on and off the field. So I still feel we have an edge over Cameroon.
That's what you feel?
Yes, when it comes to experienced players. We still have an edge over them.
For experience. Okay, but when it comes to this particular sport called football, you know, Cameroon, Ghana, they are always kind of arch rivals to Nigeria. It's always very, very tough.
Yes, it's tougher than the way we see it. It's political and everything put together. So when it comes to a game like this, even the Nigerian players, you don't need to tell them, this is what you have to do. They just know this time around you are playing for pride. Good
one there, coming from Josie James. Let's leave the ladies and quickly talk about the MPFL. MPFL match day 37 was played across Nigeria. Matches were played, and now the battle is really very, very tough. Simultaneously, those 10 matches came on, and we have, let's look at the result of the MPFL as we went down across Nigeria. Accra United walloped MFM 1-2-3 goals. Niger Tornadoes 2-1 against Atland. And you have Sunshine losing at home against Raymond Stars. Eyimba, well, shockingly, 2-0 against Zakada. Katsina United 2, Plateau United 0. Lobby Stars defeated Wiki 3-2. Hagwa 2-2 against Abia Warriors. Enugu Rangers, they were pipped by Gombe United. Shooting Stars also did well against Rivers United. Nasarawa 1-0 against Kano Pillars. Looking at the way the table is standing right now, it's getting so tough. Heartland 19 on the log, Kano Pillars, Dakada That's a big race to run now with just a match to go. Relegated is MFM with that big arrow there. And for the two teams at the upper end, Rivers United and Plateau United, they both qualify for the Champions League. That's CAF Champions League, while Remo Stars, Kwara United, Rangers are all battling to see who stays on to play the CAF Confederation. Any talk about, looking at the way the match day 37 went down across Nigeria, a lot of people were already speculating that, oh, Kano Pillars, they are gone, they are not gone, and it's still open, just a match to go.
Technically, if you ask me, Kano Pillars are relegated because if you check all the factors at the last match day 38 results, a lot of the teams do have their destiny in their hands, and some of the matchups are very, very interesting. If you look at it, Kano Pillars will be hosting Shooting Stars, who needs a point to survive the job, and they have a very good goal difference of -3, while Kano Pillars, who are on 45 points currently, they need to win that game and score as much as 4 to 5 goals against Shooting Stars to stand a chance. But that might not be enough because elsewhere, Dakada will be at home against Sunshine Stars. It's the last. It's a dead rubber game for a club like Sunshine Stars. They are not in relegation worry, so Dakada did themselves a whole lot of good by winning that game away to Enyimba yesterday, winning 2-0. So that was an advantage for them, and now they have that destiny in their hands. Win at home and they'll be safe. Then another tough tie you look forward to is Lobby Stars against Abia Warriors. Abia Warriors too are currently in the relegation issues, so they need to win. Abia Warriors beating Lobby Stars, Abia Warriors goes to around 50 points, while Lobby Stars stays at 49. So the permutation there makes a case against Kano Pillars, even if they get the result against Shooting Stars. 48 points will not be enough to save them, and then they have this deduction of 3 points hanging over their head pending their appeal to the ONG. So the relegation battle is the most interesting part of that. It will be the most interesting part of the last match day for the Nigerian Professional Football League because a lot of mathematics, a lot of teams are going to that last day. Atlant also technically they are relegated, so it's a case of who will follow MFM Atlant to the NNL.
Well, it's so very, very tough this season in the MPFL. There are Anytime Badino joining us from Lagos. He's been talking about Super Falcons against Cameroon and also the MPFL match day 37, a tough one there. Thank you very much, Anytime Badino, for your time.
Thank you for having me.
There, thank you very much. And now let's come back to join Josie James. When you look at that particular table, you'll be wondering what's going to happen because a lot of people are looking at, Kano Pillars seems to be like Manchester United of Nigerian League. And you look at what will happen if this team, a lot of people have been talking, would they relegate, would they not relegate? And now if you check that table, it's really very, very tough. Technically, just as I mentioned.
Yeah, for Kano Pillars, I sympathize with them too. I would really want them to survive this relegation drop. Yeah. With
that 45 point minus 5.
The fact that they have been so long in the MPFL and going through all this period, it's not just because they were not playing well. Most of their players left for other clubs. And I think they had some financial issues at some point, which they have sorted out. But it's almost too late for them to, yes.
I think the decision from NFF Disciplinary Committee, that 3 point was deducted. It affected them. An issue of having this crisis of attacking a player from their former chairman, that thing really caused them a big problem. That was an act that caused them a big one. And when they had issue with Katsina United, Dakada, a lot of issue here and there. But that's football, at times you just have to get it right to get the necessary result. But from the way it is now, one match to go, and Kano Pillars are actually looking at every avenue to see if they can scale through.
They just need a win. A very good win, like 3 or 4 goals.
I remember other teams too.
All they need is a win.
Dakada, Abia Warriors, Katsina, all will be looking for a win.
Yes.
Shooting Stars.
If Dakada gets a draw and Kano Pillars win, even with 1 goal, Kano Pillars will beat the draw. They have -5 goals, and Dakada has -10. So they just need a win. And
win big.
Yes.
They need to win big.
Hope that Dakada draws
Good one there. We've been looking at the MPFL. Well, that's match day 37 result and also the table as it went down across Nigeria. Now, quickly, let's talk about handball, where Nigerian handball, the 25th edition of the 25th African Senior Men Handball Championship, are slated for Egypt. Our team is there now. They call them the Golden Arrows. They actually already in Egypt ahead of the game. They'll be facing Tunisia today, exactly by 12:30. That game will be on. They will be facing them. Hopefully, they can do well because we know how good Tunisia is. They have always played in the final of this competition since 1992. So our boys, that's the Golden Arrows, just have to up their game to play against a team that's always played the final since 1992. It will be a tough one there. Hopefully, they'll be able to do well. And quickly, before we go, we also look at the fact that Wimbledon, Novak Djokovic has done well. He has done it 21 times. Congrats to Novak for beating Nick Kyrgios in that game. Well, good one for him. He was able to win after all. Nadal actually pulled out due to injury, and it was a blessing in disguise for the Serb, and he was able to do it for the lady from Kazakhstan, Rybakina. She was able to win against African star that come from Tunisia, Ons Jabeur. Jabeur lost that game against her. Well, good one. Congrats to Djokovic and also Rybakina for winning the Wimbledon. And for the fourth time, the Kazakhstan lady, that's the fourth time she's winning it. And for Djokovic, 21 Grand Slam is not a joke.
No, that's legendary.
Very legendary.
Yes.
Well, him and Rafael Nadal they've been dragging after winning 2020 each. Now he has jumped to 21. A good one for Novak. Really, the Serb has been fantastic when it comes to this sport, and he did it so cool. They call him high school Djokovic. He was able to do it against Fiery. Nick Kyrgios is always there, being the bad boy of tennis. Well, quickly, before we go, we look at Formula 1 too, where Charles Leclerc of Ferrari was able to do it. Good one against the likes of Max Verstappen. He was able to win the Austrian Grand Prix. Good one for Charles Leclerc. He was able to do it and really celebrate the win ahead of... Okay, quickly, let's look at the way the table is standing now. Even after winning that race, we have him. He was able to win. Leclerc number 1. Max Verstappen came second. Lewis Hamilton of Mercedes, followed by George Russell, Esteban Ocon, Mike Schumacher, Lando Norris, Kevin Magnussen, and you have Daniel Ricciardo. Another one is Fernando Alonso. That's the result as it went out between Ferrari, Red Bull, and Mercedes. And the standing, looking at the way the Formula 1 table is standing right now, you have Max Verstappen as number 1 with 208 points after 6 wins in different Grand Prix across the world there. You have Charles Leclerc of Ferrari with 117 points, Sergio Perez with 151, winning just a race, Carlos Sainz a race, George Russell, Lewis Hamilton, Lando Norris are yet to win as we talk about the top leaders there. Max Verstappen has been outstanding so far. This is with 6 wins out of all the races so far. Well, we have 10 races and he has won 6. He has won 6 out of 10 races so far.
Yeah, it's a good one that we're not only having just
one person dominating all,
Lewis
like
Hamilton, and yeah, it's good for the Formula 1 race, because when you have one person up there always at a point, it will look boring for you to even sit to watch. But now we're having new guys who can race with Lewis Hamilton. It's very good for Formula 1.
A very good one for Formula 1, at least Max Verstappen winning 6 races so far. Well, about 7 races to go, and it will be a good one. Let's see who wins this time around. Will Lewis Hamilton still come back to turn things around for Mercedes? And before we go, our Nigerian brother Henry Onyekuru has moved on to actually join Adana Demirspor. Well, good one for Onyekuru, who actually moved to join them on loan. He's not new to Turkish Superliga. He has been there before, and now Onyekuru will be doing his business with Adana Demirspor alongside the likes of the man from Italy, talking about Mario Balotelli is there, and he will be joining them there. And also Loic Remy. Loic Remy is also in that team, and they'll be doing their business. Good one. Thank you very much, Josie James, for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
And for Editor Obadino in Lagos, thank you very much for joining us on the show too. I am Adeni Ajishafe. Thanks for watching.